Hi, it's Bryson here in lovely Millennium Park on a beautiful sunny day. Sorry, there we go. That's a better picture of the background. Just enjoying this beautiful sunny day. People out in the park having a great time. Just another lovely day to be alive. And I just want to talk a little bit about more about just escaping the matrix of the mind. And one of the key parts of escaping the matrix of the mind is escaping the artificial persona that we all follow and we all go along with. That is this narrative that is running through our minds of who we think we are. Now, in Western psychology and psychiatry, depersonalization is considered a disorder. And when it comes to everything in the Matrix, it's all about reversing everything. It's all about keeping people attached to these superficial attachments that exist in this world so that we are always detached from the true self. And when I say true self, I mean self with a capital F. First, let me tell you a little bit about the origin and the etymology of the word persona and personality and things like that. So the root word of personality and persona is the word persona, which in ancient Greece and ancient Rome was the name of the mask that actors wore. So it wasn't the true person, or the true I, it was the mask that the actors would wear. And so when you are engaging in this reality, it's very important. One of the biggest clues to what the true meaning is of things is to look at the etymology, which is the historical meaning of the root words that make up the modern word. And the persona, as I stated, is the mask that the actors would wear. And you, as you go through this world, in your avatar that is this temporary existence that is, here to do whatever it's supposed to do in this world, you are assuming a persona. You are assuming an acting role that is playing a part in this grand stage play we call the world. Shakespeare had a great saying. He said, all the world's a stage. And it's true. You are on a stage and you are an actor. And once you free yourself from the clinging onto and the attaching to the persona and all of its egoic ideas that are just nothing more than creations of your mind, because I've said this in another video, the ego isn't even an actual thing. It is a psychological process of identifying with certain ideas, and all of these ideas that you are identifying with, that you are determining are your persona and are your ego and who you are, these are all things that you've sourced outside of you. And every time you do that, you detach deeper and further and further, I should say, from the true self, because you're not actually looking inside to find out who you are. You are looking for answers in the world to identify who and what you are. And once you are able to liberate yourself from the persona and all of its egoic attachments, that is when true liberation and salvation happens. Because we sit here and we try to cling on to these flimsy ideas and these lies we've told ourselves about who we are through the egoic and the personified identity. And all of these things that we attach to and we identify with, and these positions we stand by that we say are who we are, they are all dualistic. And when you live in a world that is like the Matrix, as we call it, that consists of binary language, because just like a binary computer, this is a binary reality that works on dualisms. Any position you can ever identify with can always be opposed with the same magnitude by an equally opposing, diametrically opposed idea. And so this is why the ego is a problem, because the ego is the process of you identifying with things that are dualistic ideas and then creating this persona, which, like I said, comes from the Greek and Roman masks, and you've put a mask over yourself and you are detaching yourself from your true identity. And most people, most psychologists, if they heard me saying this, would think I'm crazy, because they say, oh, depersonalization, that's a disorder. but it's really not. It is the search for the true self. It is where you find what we call in various spiritual systems, salvation, gnosis, nirvana. That is how you experience these things. And until you learn that the ego is just a collection of ideas that you've put in your head and that you've determined is you, but it really isn't you, and that you're acting a persona that isn't the true you, but the persona that you feel society wants to see. Once you realize that, you are completely liberated. And when you start to have that deconstruction of that, it is such a freeing and liberating experience. And, you know, I definitely still have egoic attachments that I'm working on. I still attach to the persona in some ways. And, you know, listen, we're here to play this game and live this life. So we do have to identify with the persona occasionally. But it's when you internalize it in a very deep way that the pain happens. And when you let go of these ideas that are nothing more than a creation of your mind, the matrix of the mind, you are freed. And I know that this probably is difficult to accept for some people who may be watching this, because of the fact that we, especially in the Western world, we live in a very egocentric society, that's all about the persona, and identifying with that persona and its reputation in this world. And when you can free yourself from that and just be your authentic true self, that is when the true liberation begins. And it's actually an extremely, once you accept it and you realize that these ideas you've put in your head are parasitic ideas that are no longer serving you, you are liberated and you are free. And so I hope everybody out there is taking good care of themselves, getting through all of the nonsense and the madness that's been going on in the world. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great day.